pretty deep. I think that I loved shrimp so much because there was some antidote in it. There's some antidote in the flavor of it, in the cocktail sauce, in the zesty lemon, every part of it, to like what it was like growing up in northern Maine, which is cold and remote and desolate. And if it had like a signature food, it would be an undersized potato, or perhaps a deer. And if you have not eaten a deer, lucky for you. Because I've eaten all of the deer, because so much of northern Maine is predicated on hunting, which is how I first became engaged with guns. Everyone where I come from hunts. Everyone has to hunt, because for many people up there, like, hunting is actually a sizable part of your income for the year, because you'll manage to kill a deer during hunting season, and then you eat the deer. Which I just got to say, if you've never hunted for deer, hunting for a deer is like the smallest part. Like, everyone acts like that is the really complicated part. Is stalking out into the woods after drinking a lot of coffee at 4 a.m, and then like waiting to see an animal that is absolutely peaceable. And if you want another way of hunting them, have an apple tree, and they'll just like come toward you. And then it's like, look, there's a deer. And I always loved how in Maine people are like, that's not sportsmanlike. I'm like, well, okay. Like, don't kill the deer here, but wait till they go back in the woods. And it's like, I'm the only oxen free. I always thought the rules were very strange about this whole thing. And you go into the woods and you look for the goddamn deer, and then the deer is like very good at running, because it's a deer, and it gets startled and it runs off at a high speed. But you are armed just with a club. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have a club. You've got a bow. No, you don't have a bow and arrow. And people talk about that. I remember growing up, people were always like, I have a composite bow. I never heard of one person who ever actually took their composite bow out into the thing, or then actually killed anything with it. I knew more people who had like accidentally shot themselves in the foot with a composite bow, or just like showed off for girls. To actually kill a deer, you have a rifle, because that's why we invented guns. Guns were invented because they were these long, enormous penises that shoot bullets at high speed. And we, being men, were like, this is amazing, because I have a penis, and now I'm holding one as well. And this penis kills things. So it's like the best penis. And so you go into the woods with your rifle, and then, a deer runs, and then, you shoot the deer. And then that is the smallest part of it, because of course then you have to figure out how, from the random place you're in the woods, you get this enormous carcass home, and then you have to bleed it, and you have to, it's so involved, and it just takes forever. And at the end of it, if you do everything right, you get venison, which is actually an ancient Native American word that means meat that doesn't taste that great. It's true. I'm afraid it's true.